Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Link to the Past Randomizer Casual Boots Tournament 2023 race between Nira, Lightshine and Duskplume. I'm Rob J. Beasley. I'm joined on commentary today by Scupula. How's it going?
I'm going pretty good. Yeah, so Nira and Duskplume, a couple of well-known names here in the community. I think this will be nice and evenly matched here, so good race coming up.
Yeah, pretty important race too. Looking at the group standings, neither of them have a win yet, so they're kind of fighting for their tournament life. The two other runners in their group have 3 wins each, so they're sort of fighting back here, but definitely still alive in this tournament. It's like Nira's showing us the early map check here. Pendant Eastern, Red Crystal up her.
Pendant Eastern's always a thinker, being as it's available right away. And I don't know, a lot of people like to get in there when it's a pendant instead of waiting for a bow, but we'll see.
Nice early ice shot. No punch for that today.
Should I do it? No. I just we had this come up the last one I did. Finch is going to do it. Finch has got her back.
Yeah, there we go. Early ice rod, guaranteed pendant turtle rock. Pendant Eastern, guaranteed early bow. That's what we're having here, right?
Yep. So yeah, that's Rydia from Duskplume there, and I know Kirby Superstar is the music over there. We'll go back and forth. Left side's a little. That sounds like somebody's running their CPU a little bit. I can see it on their frame counter, so we'll check that out as we go. But so far, just some standard fare escape shenanigans.
Absolutely. Looks like we're seeing 1 pot and 4 slashes from Duskplume here. Ooh, takes the hit. Might back up with another pot here. No, going to go for the slashes still. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, things go goofy on you. It's easy to lose count. I do it all the time, but there's a glove, at least. So now the back of escape is in logic. Hee hee ha ha.
Absolutely.
Just kidding.
But yeah, still a nice progression item to find early. See if anyone wants to be a gamer and go straight from escape up the mountain.
So there was some separation going on, but we were pretty much neck and neck at this point with the ball and chain guard issues there on Duskplume's side, but it's just escape,
Yeah, absolutely. Nira went for the slightly safer 2-pot on ball and chain, and obviously the safety paid off here. Put a bit of time up.
Yeah, in my department, I like the 2-potter until you have a 2-sword or better. Then you can 1 pot and spin usually pretty well. And we've seen that in this tournament. You're forced to do it pretty quickly. We've seen swords come up before now. I don't remember seeing a lot of green guard / rope checks for maybe bombs at some point. Might have saw a few and I just glossed over it, but might see some rats as well.
Yeah, I think we saw some enemies being in the arrow price pack. I can't remember exactly which.
The rats don't look any better. So.
Yep, obviously bombs not a huge concern in escape immediately because we get to just bonk to the back, but bombs are nice to have before the Kakariko trip.
Yeah, fortune shop garden, I guess. The rock beside has one there that we can get with the boots. But...
Map in the last chest there, denied getting to skip Sang. We don't get to check if the runners were paying attention.
I mean, I pay attention. I open it anyway because I'm scared.
Alright, more or less neck and neck coming out of escape here.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a frame or two. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, there's your bombs. Alright. Enough for the 3 checks in Kakariko at least. Very little cash found so far as well. Gonna need to build some of that up soon too.
You know, it's funny, I was like thinking we have the RPG sprite and the castle track. I was like, you know, I wasn't real familiar with Kirby that game. And first one, I was like, I don't know if it's Kirby. Oh, now we know it's Kirby. Yeah.
Alright, there's a nice 300 rupees, so that solves that problem too.
Mm-hmm.
Some green rupees on tier 2 trees here, and arrows from the bush crabs.
Both runners opting to get that piece there. Four more pieces. It's not a bad way to go into CAC with 6. You know? Alright, nice early flute. Always good to find that in Kakariko, activate it on the first trip here. Yeah, it's common enough, but you like it every single time you see it. Because here it is, here's your statue. Now when you get a bottle, you can come back nice and easy. Yeah, that ice rod shot from Nira was probably just trying to quick swap in door state or something. Didn't quite work. I do it a lot. It's a fun fact, you can throw that bomb over the chest as long as it's not open. Which is... not sure how intended that was, but it's almost like the lid's open, now you hit the lid.
I don't know, the chest states work differently when they're open and when they're not. So I think you can grab the sides of chests when they're closed and not when they're open. It's quite weird behavior.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be a lot of that because they're just boxes, but yeah. Yeah, we're gonna hope Dusk remembers her flute turn on here, because this is a choice you make sometimes that I've definitely had the thought and then 10 seconds later forgotten about it.
Alright, here we go. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Boots make it better. Boots make a lot of things better.
Alright, nice blue mail there. Blue mail 7 hearts is pretty reliable defense this early in the game.
Hmm.
Right, we see the blind check of the race game there. Just has some bombs. Gonna go ahead and save and quit. So Nira's gonna make use of that flute and head on up the mountain here.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to be able to knock out and get that warp point established.
Yeah, definitely a fine play with an early flute. Yeah, the old man save and quit is the fastest save and quit to leave if you're just going to save and quit then flute, so nice to have it.
Hammer here for Duskplume.
Alright, we're just a pearl away from Dark World access. And there's the early bow I was talking about.
Yeah. So back to Eastern in that discussion.
Yeah, I guess so. It's funny that that bow is lamp locked, so one of the items need to be Eastern locked behind the other.
Yeah, I will say a lot of times that bow with a pen and Eastern, you think, okay, well, now we gotta do Armus. It's got to be a thing, but good half the time that bow ends up being logical for pod instead. So we'll see.
Yeah, especially with that hammer we just found. Pod's definitely lurking.
And there's money for the seed. It's now done. There's a Dark World map check already here from Nira. So there's your Pendant TR, of course, and then Swamp.
Yeah, Pendant Swamp as well. Like lots of items potentially skippable this seed.
Most of us will pray for Hookshot, I guess.
Yeah, very fair. I do not know either of these runners well enough to know if they have hovering or mold on bouncing in their repertoire, but yeah, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Blue K, blue item, close enough. Yeah, you're going to see all this stuff from Duskplume here on account of, well, mostly not having to wait for the flute activation, but sooner or later. And Nira's going to get all that and then some until Dusk remembers about that flute. So far, thankfully, it's nothing too out of the way. Might actually choose to go into Eastern, might choose to do the whole thing, I don't know, we'll see. Lamp throws that off since we don't have that yet. But...
That was the first look at the map from Dusk, I think. Already come over to the eastern area before finding out it's a pendant.
Yeah, I think you're right, because we just got the TR check there through Sahashala. I mean, it's a good time for it. You just have to make your decision a little quicker. In my mind, this is fair, you know. Nobody has that moon pearl yet anyway. Well, there is some desert access. So, you know, on we go. Of course, we're going to stay in here for a little bit. That makes perfect sense. No fire either.
Yeah, with that bow being lamp locked though, it wouldn't be shocking to see the lamp turn up soon.
That's fair. Yeah, that's right. It was on Old Man. Yeah, forgot. Yeah, it's early, Finch, but there's definitely some things to think about, which you know because I'm over here getting confused already. Usually at least 15 minutes go by before that happens. The overworld is thinning out fast.
Yeah. Nira setting up the delayed border walk here, gonna take this to domain.
Of course, the 1 rupee there for item number 2 in the Eastern to make you question everything.
Alright, got Easton.
Fetch quests. Oh, man. Ooh, okay. Alright. More out of logic stuff to consider. Have we had enough yet? I mean, his glove does King's Tomb alone right now, but I'm lost. The shovel, to me, has the highest chance of being a thing.
I mean, the good thing about the shovel, I think, for Dusk is that it might well remind them they have a flute.
Yeah, hopefully, but
You have to menu to the flute to get to the shovel.
yeah, and no save and quit, so that's what's happening. And I'd say not late enough to make a difference, so that's good. But nonetheless, just 10 arrows in there, so help me out. What do we got? Really? Desert? Yeah. Yeah, Dustin gonna feel too good about this, but I mean, not the worst, you know, I don't think.
Yeah, you'll feel a little bit foolish, but hopefully that feeling will go away after a few minutes and you'll be back to normal.
I think the worst thing was not being able to flute 7 or check that mountain, which mountain doesn't matter. Now we can, yeah, flute 6 just like that, and we're back in sync. Look at that. Mirror. Right away.
Alright. So, so that's hard lot behind the book then, so Nira's going to have to make a trip into Easton at some point.
Makes the full trip through Eastern officially feel bad, but I mean, you're kind of going to do that. Yeah, Nira does have to go that direction. Well, yeah, weird places for Pearl. We're going to need a lamp at least, another sword and a cape, or a cape. But seeing as I'm pretty sure this is it for Nira on to Eastern, we'll do Saha first. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, absolutely. If the pearl was in the closet, you'd feel kind of silly going into Easton first. And all those dark world checks just sat there.
So Duskplume will get to skip the little bit of mountain at this point. It's actually, despite all the flute things, going to put her ahead just a bit for now.
I never see anyone go right in Desert Lobby, but it must be the same, right?
It's the exact same, but I tell you what, it's like, well, Hyrule Castle I used to go right, and then I realized it wasn't the same, but I think that's where it comes from. Everybody it's just left as the way.
Yeah, I mean, it might come from NMG, because we go left first there just because we're heading to the torch.
Yeah, I will trust you on that. I don't get into that. I should run one now and then, but... That's a good point in chat. You know, Nira might see the book with the mirror knowledge and just quit, which will make up some time.
Yeah, it's possible. That mirror isn't doing a ton by itself here, though. I guess it gets you all of the East Mountain.
It puts you right into Hera.
Alright, looks like this is, this walkout can't be better than save and quit, right? Anyway, the decision to bail has been made.
Yeah, that's a choice. I mean, it's probably a little slower, but I don't know. For me, it definitely took a lot of running to figure out all that little stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you could read and read all day, but playing is fun.
Can't argue with that.
Now, if he continued in the Eastern, I still wouldn't have blamed it, because it seemed like every time the second and third item in Eastern, when it's a pendant, is a thing. But it will work out in this case. I love how it's Eastern to... and I was wondering about this. I don't want to say it at the time, but it was Eastern to Desert to Hera in order.
Yeah, the full chain of progression there. Powder also showing up in Desert, which is available right now. We've got a hammer.
Yeah, that's true. So that is another choice. I mean, I might make it going with a flute, especially. You get it first, just in case we're talking about Hera basement or some reason.
Yeah, that's the awkward thing with the Hera play right now. Obviously, like Hera's not guaranteed to be beaten. We haven't got a fire source or a hook shot to ensure that the climbing is available. But yeah, with all these checks out on East Mountain, I think making this play quickly is definitely good. Duskplume not going to feel too bad about missing out on that bow until now, because there was nothing on the boss in Eastern.
Mm-hmm. So Dusk's headed up here. I mean, it's going to be, I'm sure, a trip into Hera. I mean, it's hard to turn that down whenever you have the mirror in hand. So we'll see what goes on in here. So you get to have a look at this too for later. It's just a heart container. You might see it. Probably not, but you might. There's one or two down, so hoping for a big key here.
Yep, got to be a key of some kind. Ooh.
So, yeah, slash. Gonna have to come back. Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is not ideal.
You know, I don't
Okay,
know.
there we go.
Okay, yeah. That was close. And heck knows I have done that so many times. I will always say it because it's so true. And Nira did not check that yet either. Yeah, I guess everybody can check the right side now too easily, so.
Nothing at the mountains so far. See if this Nira actually pays off with the 7 checks here in Paradox. Cape draws us slightly closer to the Aghanim scenario. Still gonna need a lamp for that though. First bottle as well, can combine that check with the magic bat. And there's the pearl, so never mind Aghanim. So yeah, Mit's already in hand for Nira here. Can go ahead and do some of the Dark World checks too.
So 3 bombs on Lumberjack? Jack question there? Was that what it was? Something.
Yeah, certainly nothing good.
Oh, we did get the pearl. Okay.
Yeah, pearl showed up in Paradox Cave.
So we do have out of logic Dark World at this point. Or no, it's in logic. We have a hammer.
Yeah, Dark World is in logic, the Mitts are not. It looks like
Yeah.
Nira's not gonna... Okay, Nira could have shown us some of the Dark Death Mountain checks though. Obviously, yeah, not in logic because of no Mitts, but yeah, Super Bunny and the Bonk chest, at least in Hookshot Cave, were available there. I'm gonna guess that means Nira is not a hoverer, because I think he would have not skipped those checks right now if you could hover.
Yeah. I mean, even hovers will skip it sometimes because it can take a little bit of time in the logical implications. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I don't do it.
I mean, it depends how confident you are. I think, like if you're reliably able to get the hover almost every time, then I think I would never skip it. Yeah, it obviously depends on things.
You know, when you're already up there, I can see it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so many checks. But anyway, they're not in logic right now. Both players are going to go do things that are in logic instead.
You know, until that hookshot winds up in the bonk chest, which, I mean,
that's fair. But also the entire checks are out of logic right now until the flippers show up to put our Mitts into logic.
Yeah. I just had to invoke something real quick. So Dusk wants the one and done here from Skull. And that's an okay dip out to make. You know, you could get a fire out here in Thieves. I've seen it. There's that one, at least one bottle. I guess Nira has 2, but we saw a sick kid having not much. But oh, that's a second for both. Okay.
Yeah, the first bottle showed up in Paradox Cave as well, I think.
So they say try not to, get on the stream talking about when you have to leave or whatever, but I did have to step away, and as soon as I do, that's when stuff happens. So. There's the lamp.
Okay. Bow in logic. Full clear of pod in logic.
Pod, Terra, this. Yeah. So we're on track. Ish. Still the flippers, and some other things.
Yeah, with Pendant Swamp here, the flippers, in theory, could never show up. We could finish the seed with those mitts out of logic, but wouldn't be surprised if they were in the path. The Ice Rod was in escape.
I don't know. I like pulling that switch. I can't often get to do it, but these dark world ropes you never get to see too much of. There's your boots there in attic. Now worth approximately 20 rupees, or exactly. I wasn't paying close enough attention to the front to see if there was more than lamp. If not, I guess that means blind has an item. But with all these dungeons now on the table, I don't suppose that lamp's going to drive any other decisions. At least for now.
Right, blinds down. First crystal picked up.
Yeah, 34 minutes, first crystal. And I mean, the run we had to do in the light world, that makes sense.
Yeah, having to dip every single dungeon and not beat any of them. I guess Easton could have been beaten, but it wouldn't have been good.
Cape's coming in handy here for Duskplume.
She had a fairy as well, so it would have been fine.
Fine, but a little slow, so it's nice to have anything you can get for this fight. So we're going to see the smiths start to get wrapped up here. In fact, actually, I think we can do the whole thing, right? Yeah, got a powder and everything, so Not sure what's going on with Dusk here.
Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to pick the rock up. I just realised I didn't have mitts.
Oh.
And have now.
Oh, she don't have them? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not been to Zora yet. Yeah, maybe inverted brain. It's a possibility.
That's kind of what it looked like, yeah, actually, a little bit. You do that kind of thing. Just some Fletcher's hard at work. There's the flips. Figured it probably couldn't have been too buried too deeply, I guess.
Yeah, we are officially back in logic.
Now, did Dusk lose the purple chest, or did she never have it? Can't even remember who had what now.
Yeah, Dust doesn't have mitts, so hasn't done any of the Smith room.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I saw her kind of waffle around the entrance to the grove there. I was like, I wonder if that, that made me think that.
Nira going for the quick hop input a bit too soon and left the chest behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done that for sure, and it's like, I don't know, it seems like you hit it when you're on there, but sometimes it decides not. But we got the red mail now here, so I'd say we're done worrying about health. Probably pick up a few more, but it's a good enough hype cave. So now Nira might, think, okay, well, I'm going to have to leave the shovel because I don't have it. But at least we know it's nothing. And Nira's opting to, I guess at this point, skip Bombo's tablet with the flute down.
Yeah, you're going to want to go back into the Dark World for hype cave pretty soon, though, presumably. So straight to pop. Unless Nira did hype cave before village, I don't think so, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, red mail.
Yeah, no, because the sword was in there, so obviously not.
Oh, sword too. Yeah, that's right. Sword and red mail. So. I know sometimes you can get to a point where like, okay, I've done enough overworld, and it's just bad. I quit because I got all these dungeons I need to do. So.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to fault someone for going to a full curable crystal dungeon.
Yeah, the best part about Link to the Past, the iframes negating a switch push. So now we'll really get to see if the bow is good for anything early. Or it just happens to be there. So far, just the dungeon itself.
Alright, big key over here on the right side, so combined with the shield that was on the bridge chest, can skip vanilla big key chest today. Nira getting a little bit bullied by these beetles.
There's always tougher versions of enemies in these Zelda games, but they were like, well, let's have 2 of these and make the second one about, I don't know, 5 times tougher than the first one. As expected, just a key there in the big key chest. Small key, but minimum of 4 keys in the front. It's like Nira's taking a warp, probably more for the refill than anything. Got a red cane here in the back of pod. So.
Oh boy. No medallions at all yet, though, so mine are not on the table yet.
Yeah, as I say, we can get in a TR, but same thing, no medallions. But the worst part about TRs, we're going to need most of the stuff that we're going to have to get anyway to get in there. So. I think we saw an early guess at maybe a hook being in there. It'd be one of the few things you don't need. Couple of ways to do those turtles. With the beams, it can be tricky, but getting them all in one spot was kind of neat. Well, on to Helmosaur for Duskplume. 17 hits in the face. More than likely will be, I want to say 8 arrows.
So you start with a spin and then some arrows.
Of course, being very careful not to go to the mirror.
Oh yeah. Don't want to lose a minute and a half to a quick swap fell.
All in all, pretty decent. And so now 2 crystals in hand for Duskplume and shortly for Nira as well.
Okay, where to next?
Well, I mean, Hera is a thing that we can do. So is desert. Yeah, we can do desert with the lamp too. So looks like we're gonna get that mushroom turned in. Very fair, flute in hand and all.
Yeah, find time to do this as a one-off. Can buy some potions here as well with the infinite pool of money we seem to have.
Gonna go without potions, but it's gonna check Zora this way.
Alright, well this is going to be the mitts then.
It'll open a few more things up. Hammer flippers. Ideally, you like to do, if you're gonna come this way, do catfish and mirror over. But catfish is just 1 check, so hopefully that's nothing.
Looks like it's going to be arrows all the way for Nira here without Master Sword. It was giving us the side to sides.
Yeah.
There we go.
Of course, yeah. Can't dodge forever, bug. So over to the mountain again for Duskplume. This will certainly be a hair clear. And then with the mitts, probably see some of the right side. Might even see the front of TR. If a medallion shows up somewhere. Very least we'll see what the medallion requirement is, since I guess we haven't done that either.
Yeah, it's like Nira's back into Eastern to finish off the checks here.
Yeah, and I could see this. That bow turned into, well, I guess you could say the bow, or not the bow, the cane was bow locked. But it doesn't immediately do anything, so it's fair to come in here for multiple reasons. It's just Eastern at the end of the day. Loves to hide stuff. But I mean, on the other side, having to do Parabasement for a big key at least means you're not going to leave anything in here. So there's an upside to it.
Alright, yeah, Nira picks up the last item in Eastern there, does not kill the boss gambling on Ped. Peek at the Maya medallion, it's Ether.
Shed looks like mine. Just arrows and a heart piece. That's what I got.
Okay, I wasn't paying close attention, but I assume we found both items in Hera, given that Duskplume was sleeping in a big chest. I think there was an item. Was there an item downstairs?
No, map and key. So yeah, I'm not actually sure, but we're going to the big chest.
Oh, they're going to
now.
drop down to it. Okay, yeah, just rather than
Yeah.
fine.
I myself kind of figured a bomb jump out, but I can't get. I don't know why. I got to figure. I can't get the thing where you hold the sword out and then have it push you back on the ledge. So I got to get that worked out. Nobody likes falling down here.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, when I was learning the spin setup, it felt kind of unintuitive at first, but like once you get the hang of it, I think it's a really good way of doing the bomb jump. Okay. You hate to see it.
Yeah, 2 floors down is not good, but still worse than that bomb jump would have been. You fall up there, I think you're headed down to the first floor.
Oh yeah, all the way down.
Well, you know, it's just 2 dungeons in the same area in Light World and the Dark World that you just like to have a hook for. Third shield. Sure. You get through Laser Bridge without running out of magic. There's that.
Nira was able to get the first land mode with Ice Rod shots, then had to kind of do some spins on the other ones, but there we go, bust down, another crystal in the bag. Leveling the count at 3 each, but not the same ones anymore.
Yep. So Dusky heading to Myers Well, opting for that over the Eastern Mountain with Mitts. Having already done the light side, there's not a lot left, but I think you got to get there before too long. And without a hook, it takes longer to get up there.
Yeah, and that's the temptation to do it while you're already in Hera. That's the nearest you're going to be until you get the hook.
Yeah, a point like this, I would say the medallion knowledge alone is a good reason. But for today, we are even on that front. So
yeah, sometimes when TR is a pendant, I just don't want to know the medallion. Don't tell me I can go in.
Duskplume just doing some, and I know this isn't the intent, but we do this in combo rando because we can get to desert without a glove. Or mire, for that matter. So that is a way into desert. Second sword in the mail and a mushroom I forgot was in here now here for Nira. Did Nira? Yeah, he did get this shovel and got out of Eastern. I quit paying attention at some point, so actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure he checked that. So we'll be getting that mushroom done, I'm sure, before too long. Might even be on the catfish trip if that's where he's headed. And then Landmo, which Nira did for his 3rd crystal, and Dusk will now do for her 4th. Ice Rod to save at least a little bit of time in here and soften them up. we, as chat mentions, they do have the ability to get into swamp without a hook.
Oh, yeah, sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
Hookless Pendant Swamp, can't even do Specky Clip.
So, yeah, just a bug net there. So, Dusk hopefully won't go back to catfish at any point. I mean, depends how long we're looking for stuff, really, but...
Looks like we're going to get some new checks from Dusk here with the North Dark World stuff.
Mm-hmm. I've been wondering for a while about the rest of Skullwoods, because I myself will typically do the middle and back. I could see why... I don't know if Nira went in there at all. I could see why Dusk chose not to. Well, yeah, okay.
Now we can full clear our Pendant Swamp.
Now, it's bad whenever you don't have a cape. I had to look again. Oh, yeah, we do have it.
Yeah, I think that showed up in Paradox as well, just before the Moon Pearl, so we were teased with Aghanim very briefly.
Also, they're in the bottom two, where I wasn't paying attention. There's a 5 and a 2, and I'll tell you what, the 2 always has the stuff. Yeah, no GT climb shenanigans at the very least, but indeed it does point further into swamp. Yep. Just a heart piece in here. I think we saw King's Tomb already. I guess not from Dusk, so...
Yeah, I'm going to see it now. I think he's slightly surprised he chose to... Or she, sorry, chose to not keep the portal there to go back to the Dark World and go to Catfish afterwards, but that's going to work out fine here.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a... Oh, I know I skipped it, so now it doesn't exist type thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I can't really read the runners here, but it's possible.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know. I never feel like I'm that behind to Catfish, because nobody wants to do it. Check that everyone will avoid if they can.
Mm-hmm. So here comes right side Dark World Mountain.
Yeah.
Which I need a faster way to say at some point, but...
See if anything's been skipped here for a while. Both players have the chance to come here sooner than now.
I mean, I'll tell you what, a lot of runners would choose Swamp. I myself would choose this pretty much every time whenever you have TR available. I don't know why, because going into TR without a Fire Rod could lead to some tough stuff, but I mean, if stuff's there, big advantage.
Hey, we're over an hour into the seed and we still have 0 medallions.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. See, all 3 will be together, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're just in the 3 hoverable chests in Hookshot Cave.
That would be the mint. So far, it's kind of a mint.
Okay.
Still a mint.
We're still live. Okay, not all three. But yeah, that's the one we needed. That's the Misery Maya one.
Yeah, and I guess we'll quickly find out if that's all we need. And it is, so got a choice now. Took a second to think. It's like not just quite yet, maybe Spike Cave?
Yeah, seems like it.
So you gotta run back up for that, but I mean, no blame here. You go to that first chest in TR and you see a key, you gotta think yet again. Yeah, does have to. Yeah, I don't know. Does she have a fairy?
Maybe. Yes.
There it is. Okay. That cape will really take it out of you. Huh. Well.
Yeah, the fairy is a bee now. Looks like Dusk might be continuing to play that hookshot during the swamp here. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on in the head there. In the mire? In the mire with this ether. Here we go. That's full, that's clearable. So, I mean, we still might need swamp, but this is quite defensible. In fact, it's more than defensible. It's what you got to do.
Alright, there's the save and quit from Nira after Bonk Chest. Unfortunately, gonna be leaving that Ether Medallion behind.
The North Dark World, I was going to say, is probably not too far off for him either, and that won't feel good. It's easy to put off, though, whenever... This is one thing with those early mitts, and you have boots, so you knock out one of the checks, so the density goes down by that much, so then it becomes a bit of a later item for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Nira has been to Skull at all yet, so that could have been combined here, though obviously it looks like it's being skipped now.
Yeah, it could have been choosing to end there, and now in about a second is going to have to make a decision. As we're reminded, still no fire rod, which we need. Do keep in mind, fire locked fire does apply to mire as well. So we have one more check for that possibility.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we find Bombos and then Fire Rod shows up in ice. It's,
yeah, that's the other good.
All still possible.
Good part about it, where we're like, oh, we don't need any other medallions. Yes, we do.
Right, looks like it's swamp from Nira here. Makes complete sense. You find that hook, you've just been to the mountains, you don't want to go back there. This is the other hook-locked thing.
Yep, and we'll see, because Dusk was just about to do it. So could be a bullet point here.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of feel like the fire rod has to be in the swamp here for Nira to be very alive in this race, but we'll see what happens.
Alright, so cutscene, not a thing. We got a half magic, quite nice. A single rupee, not so nice. But at least both things are out of the way, so on to Vitreous.
Yep, looks like we're hitting the Bombos tablet before swamp. Don't think we've seen this check yet.
See it, nah, because the flute away, but vanilla? No, just some arrows. I want to say that's on Duskplume's plate. Hasn't done any of the Smith chain with the late mitts yet.
Yes, I agree. I thought that's what she might have been going back to the village for when she went to the North Dark World, but yeah, did that instead and it worked out with the hookshot.
This is a good place for half magic under the current loadout. No silvers, just Master Sword. You can run that cape a little longer.
Classic cape dash strats.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine fight.
Get some done in time. I haven't done that for a while. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you get like just enough magic to get through like a cape and half magic.
But you know, then I'm the one who'll do it with a cane if I have a better sword. It's a little bit of patience, but so we all have the hook now. So here comes a specky clip. And apparently I'm the only one who can still mess that up. I do the thing and then it just doesn't grab the statue sometimes for me.
Yeah, I think I missed Becky once in this tournament. And I figured out kind of exactly how to move to make it a bit more consistent.
Yeah, it's still new tech. I'm sure there are going to be some quirks we're working out, but so far I think what's going on is too much walking or camera movement potentially. Because I know if it doesn't work, I go down the stairs and back up, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that we have a close to free setup for it already, given how long it took for the same thing to be found for Herapot.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, because we have stuff in the room to line you up like that, and it makes you wonder, any other things that are potentially in the game that you can use, since, tiles are, well, I don't mean like overworld tiles, but whether it's blocks or pegs or anything in the game, it's the same size. So I feel like there's, 30 some years later, still a whole lot in this thing. Nira's on to Argus. And since I wasn't watching too closely, I would guess at this point means that left side did not get done. And that's another thing with Specky Clip that is a lot easier of a decision to make since you have an extra key. But being as this is a pendant, that's still, I think, a 50-50 shot you call, I want to say. Maybe a little better. I mean, there's more items by count, but boss takes some time.
Yeah, exactly, especially without a tempered sword. Or a fire rod, even for the the better kill on the second phase.
Yeah, I can't get fire rod to work out. I think splash damage throws me off. The ice rod's pretty nice. At any rate, down it goes. In the hand is a big key, so yeah. That was 95% back in the dungeon. And I don't think we've seen a ped check. Is it time to talk about ped?
I think it's got to be dead by now, right? The only thing we need is fire rod, and it can't like TR is a pendant, so I think we're good for ped.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the quick thought was like Bombos, but I was like, oh yeah, can't do that either.
I mean, Bombos can be on ped, but it can't lock fire rod, so yeah, everything's fine.
Maybe it's Quake. We need that. We don't. Anybody just tuning in, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
There it is. Okay. Well, so you had to do Argus. That feels better. Almost
Yeah, this is interesting because Dusk is doing left side before the back. I mean, you probably come back in with that big key for one item in the big chest, but it's definitely a little less likely when you've already done left side.
Dusk also did not do Spec Eclipse, so I mean, prior to that, this would have been my choice as well. I mean, it's still apparently not the common choice, but I definitely still do it. I think the later it gets, the less likely you are to want to leave something in here. Yeah, this is a spicy fire rod, though. Can't actually think last time I saw progression on a Argus lock big key. I like how it works out even just because Nira's still looking for a medallion.
Yeah, unfortunately, still got to do these checks.
Bad for him, good for us.
Yeah, luckily Turtle Rock is Ether as well, so even Ether couldn't be on ped from Nira's point of view here, so that's still dead.
Yeah, I know it got marked at the same time, and Nira did do the bonk chest. He did check TR, yes. I mean, I guess you're saying that, so probably he did. But...
Yeah, that's true. I'm not 100% sure that Nira has that knowledge, but anyway, here we are. Going to do Skullwoods next. Finally beatable.
I mean, hopefully, but I know in my early days I would do the checks and forget about just eyeballing the dungeon a lot.
I've definitely forgotten to scout it before. I've always intended to, but it certainly has slipped my mind sometimes.
At least, you know, Skullwoods will get done, but won't be finding anything of much import in here. So the worst of it will be a bridge chest check, I guess, which is 20 seconds.
Yeah, Nira are going to have to full clear though, which will add a little bit of time, because like Dusk will be able to go mode this dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Although it has already checked the chest. There he is. Proving elusive. There we go. We can just grab it and then get wall mastered.
I like the walking around that skull, mostly because I ate one of those spaghetti plants the last time I was here, and yeah, that's an overworld death. You don't want that. I mean, that's not a thing, you know, here with Red Mail and all these hearts, but
yeah, for sure. I think I almost always do that. Walk around the skull if I haven't got Tempered Sword, because you can't dash through the enemy and kill it.
So there's Duskplume's big key, which in a minute or so will, yeah, that's go mode then at that point. So an hour 18 for that big light world, and having to clear out Pendant Swamp, not too bad.
Yeah, okay, no doubt in her mind there, just going straight back in for the one item left in here in the big chest, so that is going to be go mode indeed.
Yeah, that was a point. I didn't think about it, but yeah, when it's just one item instead of three, it's like, eh.
Yeah, I think the checks are thin enough on the ground here that you certainly do come back in here.
Mm-hmm. And there it is. Not happy, but I think later we'll find out that things are working out.
Okay, moth down for Nira.
So yeah, crystal number 6 there, and Duskplume is short one, but what does Nira have left to even get back to Hookshot Cave at this point? Like, how soon does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to do ice first, right?
Yeah, I see some dungeon clears with that fire rod. Oh, I said 6 crystals for Nira. That's... oops.
So just 5, unfortunately.
Just 5, yeah.
Doesn't have that Maya one yet that Duskplume has had for a bit.
Blue cane there, I think. That's first item, really? Okay. Okay, there's the other one, so... I'm guessing mirror flute here. Probably to ice, like you said. Having to think. Yep, over to ice.
Yeah, I think you have to just go to ice here at this point. I think you have to hope it's in here and hope your opponent was also a little late to the fire rod, which obviously Duskplume was, so that would work out, but unfortunately this is not where Ether is.
Yeah, it was Nira who found that hook right after being where the hook goes up on the mountain. So at some point here that's going to be an unpleasant realization. pretty darn cooperative moth here, although taking a few extra hits. At least it was staying out of the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, and that is a 6th crystal for Duskplume. Presumably going to be joining Nira in Ice Palace shortly.
And at least if you're going to go to ice and, well, find the silvers, which I'm sure Duskplume also will, unless they don't do icebreaker. Well, I'm not actually sure, but doesn't actually take a lot longer not being in go mode, but Dusk now finally wanting some potions. This is a good call here. Let's tell you what, if only there was a potion if there was a hover potion so you could not fall at Ganon. That's what I'd want. As much from chat here, we're looking for other swords too. The silvers in hand make things a lot better. I was going to say go mode is kind of because of loadout, but as much has been done, I want to say GT will probably run into a sword. I'd say chances are better than half.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, we're going to see every check in every dungeon apart from Turtle Rock this seed, right? Like, there's not that many places outside of GT that swords can be anymore.
Yeah, I guess
Silvers too. Oh, we've got silvers. Where's silver show up?
That was right after Icebreaker there.
Ah, okay.
We'll see if Dusk actually does it. I know it took me like a while to learn it.
Right, well, at least finding those silvers makes the Master Sword Ganon fight a little bit more palatable. Having to do the 24 spins in the final phase.
See, and I was wondering if that chest there in Ice Tea was going to have an item. Nira had to check it, but just the red boomerang, which I guess is probably the best remaining thing. Dusk is doing a switch flip here, which makes the well, I mean, there's always ways to get to Ice Tea, I guess, but again, you're talking to me about bomb jumps. Going left to right in Freezor room is tentative for me.
Alright, just to grab the silvers there. I was wondering if the switch hit just meant that the plan was to do 0 checks in Ice here, but no.
I mean, I guess the best benefit is if Ice Tea has the big key, which we know it doesn't, but she does not. I love just all the stuff that you can do in this dungeon to a point where I'm pretty sure in my random time I have never relearned how to do it the right way. Ever.
Oh yeah, I'm not convinced that I would know how to, what the developer intended route to beat Ice Palace is.
When you go to the switch where we typically are using Samaria, you hit that switch on the right through the key door, and then apparently you go all the way back through the dungeon, or at least through half of it, to get to the left side of the drop down. I think I tried it once when I started playing this and just messed it up. I said, oh, we're done. Down goes cold for Nira, and that will be crystal number 6 for sure. Wait.
Yeah, that will be crystal number 6. It'll be the 7th crystal for Duskplume in a minute or two.
Like, don't go to me for counts.
Yeah, speaking of counts, Duskplume's going to be heading over to Gannon's Tower before too long.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone want to do some counting on where a big key might be?
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 4.
I'm going to go for 9, I think, today.
There's the numbers. Comms don't usually beat chat to the numbers by a good 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I went too early. I introduced it going into the last boss fight.
It's chat. As soon as you mention it, it's like, oh boy. Usually.
Alright, well, we're going to see Pyramid Fairy as well from Nira, just makes a ton of sense. Oh no, we got the bomb.
Yeah. The timer is so wacky. Punish it just for trying to save a second. Couldn't even think of anything better than, like a heart piece that could have been here. Maybe there's a container left. But...
Yeah, I mean, if one of the swords was there, that would have been decent.
But yeah, that too.
Obviously not enough to swing the race, but certainly would have been a good find. Yeah, I think Nira's out of checks here. We've got to head across to now where the Ether Medallion is, obviously with the intention of then going to Turtle Rock afterwards, but going to find it before then.
Yeah, it's... I think he might actually know at this point.
Oh yeah, if he knows that TR is Ether, then yeah, of course you would have to be in one of those locations. Yeah, it's very unfortunate to come here immediately before going to where the hookshot was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to do Spike first as well. Yeah, this seems fine.
This is, definitely, we skipped the thing because we had to, so let's hope it's not there. Because Spike Cave is bad.
Yeah, for sure. This is the location that your opponent's less likely to have been to than the other chests in Hookshot Cave.
You mean you can't send a bee to open a chest for you?
That would be a nice feature.
The 2 best items in Hope Room. Thank you, game.
There's a sword.
Alright. It is very tempered having sat on that torch for the last however long. Quite appropriate. I don't know if that was
a miss menu to the mirror there by the looks of things. Yeah. Given that she's going back in the same direction.
I didn't actually watch it. I mean, could have been... Yeah, actually, it probably was a quick swap thing. Remember the first time we all figured out how to use the bonk to get to safety room there in GT Climb, and then you play some rando and look at all the other places you can do it. You might see Nira go to TR first on a. I mean, I don't know. I might. Just because, but now over to...
Yeah, well, still can't get in. Still 0 medallions, actually. Not just no ether, but no medallions at all still.
Yeah, I forgot. I wonder if he would have, though, looking for something.
Yeah, if it was a different medallion, you had it, I definitely would consider it.
I mean, he's not saving much over just checking hookshot anyway, but you know, nonetheless, there it is at 131's change. But of course, this is looking for offense, but none to be found. Still looking for that big key, and for once I'm watching both screens, so I have no idea what the count is. I can figure it out.
I think it's higher than both of us said, I'll say that much. Started with Hope Room for 2, then, yeah, number 4 would have been in...
Seven for Stalfos, 8, 9, this is 10, 11, 12, which is the gold sword, and 13, I want to say. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Two swords in GT and none in Swamp, by the way. We have to remember that whenever we're trying to form means.
Hype Cave is close to Swamp. I'm going to count it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't find a mirror in a light world, Hype Cave is definitely Swamp. So we're still going. There's your 14. Just looking for a big key on both sides right now. There's your Quake. Wow. There's the big key. Open that for I don't know what, but just because you're here, I know I would. I don't actually remember where my big key is, but it's either left side or lobby, because I know got a single rupee out of the big chest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Duskplume didn't do cutscene chest, so it's not there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, slightly awkward mimics there. With Mirror Shield, you can just look those mimics right in the face and shoot them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is one of the couple of benefits you have. So usually, yeah, well, at some point you figure out if you do fall trying to walk through, you just dash right through and see if iframes, but I would have expected a safety room there, but maybe it's the pocket full of potions.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. The time has probably come to drink one if you've got a pocket full. Or just start aggressively using medallions, yeah.
Ether, because skeletons don't have any water to freeze. Actually, it makes you kind of surprised it doesn't not work at all. But Duskplume thought about the potion, saw a heart, gonna just...
I think I'd have pulled the trigger by now. Duskplume braver than me.
Yeah, I mean, this is good skills to have. What this is more than likely hit counting, because you know your male, you know what you're facing. Now we're on a heart, and that's like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Because that fireball is still a whole heart, and there it is. So good call.
Yeah, the spikes in some of the previous runes too do a full heart no matter your male.
Mm-hmm. hoping to make it, you know, to powder here, to powder the unbunny bean, or bunny bean, I guess, unbunny bean. But not to be, but you know, that's okay. You know, it's just a little bit of an epic here going on from Kirby for a GT climb. I like this one.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely like the MSU packs that go hard in GT. Give you a nice conclusion.
Good fire rod tricks.
It's like she's noticed though, so not gonna skip it forever.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that problem happens up and down, but left and right, yeah, your hand kind of.
I think that would still have been fine if you'd gone for that there, but didn't want to risk it with the bonk. Make sure you get out of the room in time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Crystal 7 for Nira.
Fire locked fire is now fire blocked fire. Here's your second key. We don't care about any of these chests.
I think there's, I mean, other than just like more hearts, there's literally nothing left that can help now.
Yeah, depending on your current heart piece loadout, you might get a refill. You hit select on the menu, you could see it, but
yeah, I don't even think a heart piece refill would be faster than powering anyway. So.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah, because you powder the two things. There's 14 hearts for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you like those things are right in your face when you walk into the room. Costs like literal frames to get the refill though.
A little bit of worm vengeance going on here, but worm took one wrong turn. Duskplume makes it pay, as you gotta do. So it takes a little bit of time to set up, but I like the just go straight through the room, because boy is that annoying up the top. That is at least a 2 for a start.
Yeah, I think it was probably a 2. I mean, they all hit, but I think probably one of them would have eaten the other. Let's see. Ooh. Slightly mispositioned on the spin there, otherwise could have got the double. That was a better cycle.
Yeah, nice sawtooth angle ×2 on that one. I don't know. There it is. Hack a 2 down. Here's third sword there. We'll almost, well, yeah, almost certainly run into the fourth. I do not remember that text. I just noticed that extra bottle here of blue goo. So that would mean Dusk currently is 3. So it won't save you from falling, but I think we're good. Pretty moderate gain and warp setup here. Just, you know, anytime you're at an end of a race, especially in a tournament, any extra warp makes you a little nervous. Yeah, and so does that. Wow. I don't know if the torch saved her there or if it was going to be okay anyway, but let's try to get a couple arrows in here, and
Yep, one to go.
that is it. Just a bridge. GG's in chat. Let's get him for Duskplume. Keying in official time 1:42:28.
Yeah, this eve was a little bit of an adventure.
Yeah, I bet. I remember all that, the early logical implications. This will be a fun bit of a discussion. Trip through swamp. So yeah, I mean, time like that's not so bad whenever you look at all that stuff. So we have Nira checking out the race stream, seeing the dot done, and is going to follow suit with a forfeit, and maybe we'll come in here and talk with us as soon as we send him the invites.
Yep, let's see. Hopefully we can get one or both of them to come chat.
Hello.
GG.
Hey, GG, welcome in, Nira. Duskplume will be here shortly.
Oh yeah. That was a fun seed. Yes, I lost, but I still had fun with this.
Yeah, it was. You're right. I mean, we were over here having quite a bit to talk about, and I suppose we will now. So, welcome in here, Duskplume, GG.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, I'll let you guys start. Go ahead, because we had all that out of logic stuff at the beginning. I don't know what you were thinking about what to do with Mitts or the bow or, you know, Eastern itself.
I as you guys saw, as soon as I got the book out of Eastern, I left.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, yeah, I doubt there's anything of importance. I'll come back here if I have to do pod.
Yeah, and that made sense for you. It was later than what Duskplume did, so you know, it was just a shovel, which was nothing, but that book was definitely required. We had to do the Light World loop, almost like it was vanilla.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know what to add on that. So the big key in GT was basically vanilla by the sounds of it.
Yep, one chest off.
Oof.
You saw your swords too. You had to wonder where those were the whole game. Not in Swamp, just close.
I was not gonna go out of my way for more swords. They literally it just happened. They were on the way to the big key.
Yes.
You got
the nice part about him.
So what did you think about this, Dusk?
There was definitely a point in the middle of the seed there where I was like, okay, I really don't know what I'm doing here because there's so much that's green on my map and no real good place to start because everything just seems equally okay to go to. So for someone like me who's only been playing about a month and a half, trying to figure that out is still one of the hardest parts for me. When you have so much available to you, where do you go?
I've been playing this game for 2 years, and I still struggle with that.
Yeah, there are a couple of points where I was just kind of stuck on screen, going back and forth a little bit, trying to debate with myself where to go next. Thankfully, it worked out. Hated that fire rod placement.
Yeah, that was a joy, that one there.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I found the hook shot, I was telling myself, go to Hookshot Cave. I'm like, but there's like crystal dungeons I can still do.
Plus, you were just up there, so I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, I knew, like, that's my last location, the Hookshot Cave, because I'm like, it'll be my luck if I do Hookshot Cave now, it won't have the Ether Medallion.
Yeah,
Plus, there was an item in Left Side Swamp.
yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of orders of doing things, you did both do left side, so that was a wash or a push, I guess I should say. But in different orders, nonetheless. But
Yeah.
had to do Argus, so I mean.
Yep. Honestly, if the big key wasn't on Argus, I would have probably left Swamp alone.
Yeah, I can't remember. What did you have? Just the one item left, or did you have the three? You had three, didn't you?
Have what?
3 chests left to check after
Yeah,
Argus.
I had left side and big chest.
Yeah, which is, I guess, just 2 items. I don't actually remember. I saw the 20 over there. I didn't see what was on the left side.
It was the map 20 and fire were left.
Yeah.
That was a very miserable swamp. I'm so glad that Specky Clip is allowed, though. Like, I'm having a blast doing that. It's a lot easier to do than Harapot, in my opinion.
Well, that and slow left side is just not fun,
Yeah.
But Dusk, I want to ask some. You said you're only racing for like a month or so. You really hang around the forums and stuff in the Discord a lot, because you seem a lot more familiar than that,
Well, I just got done with the mentor tournament. I've been watching for a good year, so there are a number of streamers that I've watched. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's not like I'm completely unfamiliar with the game. It's more just the actual execution of it.
No, I mean, the only reason I asked is to say it's nice to see you jump into the fray here and start racing. So that's good.
Yeah, no, I was happy with this. I know a lot of people are getting like 110s and 120s, but I have a feeling I can start getting just the more I practice, really. That's all it comes down to.
Hey, you know what? I started on ladder, and for the first month, I'm still 20 behind in win-loss because of that first season. I just played the game and couldn't crack 245. And I'm looking at this. I said it too. You can look at it back if you want, but $142 for this seed, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm happy with that, yeah.
Like, I was in your case last year, Dusk. I was in the mentor tournament last year. I was a 248 average going into the mentor tournament, and by the time I was out of it, I was like a 147.
It's very helpful. Yeah, I could say that.
I mean, I remember me because of the ladder having a 3-hour time limit, since I pretty much just played boots and open, and I was just like pushing up against it all the time. Did my opponent get done an hour ago? Yeah, you bet they did.
I'll honestly, I'll admit, first time I cracked the 2-hour mark, I was in tears because I didn't think I would ever get past that mark. Now my PB is a 114.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see like quite a lot of players this year jumping straight from the mental tournament into this tournament. It's a very approachable mode, so a lot of a lot of newer players are happy to play it, and it's been really nice to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a good timing.
I was in this tournament last year. I got put in the same group as Ganon's Gone Wild, Dapper Warman.
Oh yeah, it was a random draw for the groups last year. It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nice welcome to the tournament scene.
Yeah, that's when your life insurance gets denied.
Yeah, I got absolutely wrecked. I got a win from DigiDude last year, but I got wrecked by Ganon's Gone Wild and Dapper Warman.
I mean, I still do myself, so and I don't begin to understand it. So
I actually only finished behind Ganon's Gone Wild by 13 seconds in our first race.
oh man.
But then he went on to beat me by 58 minutes the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I know in other tournaments and things, I've definitely seen some close finishes between not closely ranked runners, and I mean that's rando for you. That's why it's fun. That's why we do it.
Oh yeah, no, like I honestly go into these tournaments not expecting a win, but I'm gonna make sure my opponents have to earn that win.
Yeah, if they're sweating, you're doing it right. That's what I say. So.
Oh yeah, I'm here to have fun. Like if I don't have enough time in the day to learn this game to play it professionally, so I'm just for fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
But I don't have anything really else to add. Do you, Dusk?
No, not really.
I know
It
we
was
have
fun.
I know we have game 2 tomorrow.
We have game 2 tomorrow, yeah. And then I've got 3 or 4 other games to play over the next week or so. So here's hoping they all go like this.
I've got ARM LX on Saturday for my 6th race.
I know I've seen ARM around in the ladder, so yeah, I got some experience. Have fun with that. Good luck.
Yeah, ARM knocked me out of the Mentor tournament last year.
Oh, yeah.
I raced him. He was my opponent in week 2 of brackets, and then he was my opponent. I don't remember. It was groups or brackets, whatever the first 6 weeks are. He was my opponent in week 2 of that, and then he was my opponent in the brackets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these tournament. Sorry, go ahead.
He beat me in all 3 games, so I have a little bit of vengeance on my mind for this.
Well,
But
I'm sure you'll bring your best. I mean, and so will they. So I mean,
oh yeah, I don't mean anything bad when I say vengeance, anyway.
Oh no, I know what you mean. I mean, I'm sure the thought's the same way on the other side too. Like they know they got something. Well, you in this case has something to show here. So yeah, these will be good games.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, here, now we got a whole ton of these games here in the group stage for Casual Boots tournament, and you're welcome to. Let's see, check out the schedule here. I'm going to post that here real quick. But as far as restreams go, we have on this same channel in 3 hours TDG versus Finch, who I've seen in the chat here. So good luck to you. And that's it for today, as far as I know, unless something changes late. But usually a couple of these going on every day. So, keep it locked. These are all pretty good matches. They balanced out the groups this year, so.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna head off. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you as well. GG again.
Yeah, thank you, GG.
Yep, GG Dusk. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
So, want to thank you, Rob, for joining me here today. If there's anything else, feel free. I am good to go myself.
Yeah, it's been a cool one to talk through. A very interesting seed to watch.